I love opals. They're so beautiful. There's so many different types, and there's more variety as opposed to other gemstones where, clarity and simplicity is the whole thing. So what I want to do is cut opal into, nice shapes that can fit on rings and jewelry and then sell it. And I was doing this by hand for a while, and it takes days, hours, and your arms get incredibly tired, and your girlfriend gets extremely annoyed with the constant abrasive sounds. Professional opal cutters use these cabbing stations, which are giant wheels that will sand down and help you shape your opal quickly and accurately. And I wanted to buy one, but they're huge and they cost about $1,200 for one. So I figured I would build my own out of a Dremel Tool setup. So I ran to Home Depot and I bought a bunch of wood blocks. And this was kind of awkward because I took this gigantic 2x4 and then had to track down a Home Depot employee and ask him to cut these teeny little blocks out of it. And I think they had a minimum of something like 6 or 7 inches. Anyway, I got a little vise from Amazon for about $10, which I would use to hold the Dremel tool. And then I got some 1/4-inch tubing for the water system because you have to keep opal wet while you're sanding it. So I'm just going to make this little drip system to constantly drip on top of the stone and keep it wet. And I found this kind of a tub, maybe it was like a refrigerator drawer, to catch the water that is going to drip down from the system so it doesn't go all over the place. Now I wanted to make this station mobile so I can just take it right off my desk and do other work anytime that I want. So I started with this big plank of wood, and then I was going to put a little tower on top of it. So I marked off where that tower was going to be, where the Dremel tool would sit, and I attempted to start nailing it together, which was not working because it was far too loud for nighttime, and I'm an idiot. So the next day I woke up and I did it quick and easy, nailed my little tower together, and I nailed it into the base. I was stuck using nails because our little Ikea drill could not handle these screws, and because I think I do not know how to properly screw a screw into wood, which is impressive. So I had this 1/4-inch tubing and it came kind of coiled up and it was all bendy, and I figured out you could just kind of stretch it out and it would straighten up quite a bit. It's still some pretty floppy tubing, so I used this random wood stick that I found to give it some rigidity so I could properly aim the water drip. And then I added this little valve on the front of it, which I also got at Home Depot, so I can kind of turn it on and off when I want. And this whole water system will work like a siphon, so the tubing, as long as it goes below the water line, it will continue to drip out once you provide some suction, which is also awkward, but nobody has to see you do that, so it's fine. For the water tank, I used a to-go cup, which we had gotten from ordering Chinese food, specifically a type of porridge which had fish in it, and it was pretty enjoyable. Now, this is a meal that actually goes back to about 1000 BC, and it was a meal for peasants and rich people alike. And typically it was made from wheat, barley, sorghum, millet, tapioca, and even corn. And there was a Qing Dynasty manual on porridge by Huang Yonggu, which lists 237 different ways of preparing this bowl of comfort. There were other grains that were mostly used in northern China where they grew abundantly, but in the south from Shanghai to what is now known as Guangzhou, rice was and is the preferred grain for this meal. So finally it came time to test my contraption, and I went into my rough opal and I was choosing out some kind of weaker stones just to get a feel for the machine. And it worked really well. You can see some of the results I got here. And these are not polished yet. They're going to look 1,000 times better once I polish them. And you'll be able to see that in the next video. So I wouldn't try to copy my build. I think I did a terrible job, but it does function extremely well. And I've gotten comfortable with it. And I'm looking forward to working with it more. Peace.